Inflation disproportionately affects the financially uneducated and the poor, and anytime you see more inflation, it causes a bigger divide between the rich and the poor, and that's what causes the middle class to essentially be wiped out, because now you're the one that's working to get a paycheck. You're the one that's working to get a salary every single day, and the salary that you're earning is not able to stretch as far. You can't buy as much, and the savings that you've been working so hard to build don't have the same buying power as before. This is why the middle class gets wiped out. However, the people that are financially educated, now this could be whether you're middle class or poor or wealthy, depending on the income that you're making. However, if you're financially educated, you're going to slowly end up more and more on the side of the rich, because now you own the assets which benefit from inflation. This is why it's so important for you to be financially educated, because most of us, I'll diagram this out right here, most of us are only taught to be a worker. All of us, when we go to school, we're told if you get good grades, you get a good degree, you'll be able to get a good job so that you can make a big salary. That's what we're always told. But that's not the only way that you can make money, and that's not how wealthy people make their money. So here is one way that you can make money from your salary. And then the other way that you can make money is from profit or equity. So this is workers. When you work, you're working for a salary, you're working for a paycheck. But every business has two aspects. It has the workers, and then it has the owners. And everybody in America needs to own a business. Now, this doesn't mean that everybody should be starting a business. This doesn't mean that everybody should be operating a business. In fact, the majority of people should not be starting or operating businesses. However, you can still own businesses by deploying your capital, your money, right? Because there's two ways that you can own a company. You can own a company by building it, starting it, or you can own a company by buying it. And the way that you can buy it now is you take the salary that you're earning and you work to own some equity. And the things that you can own equity in are any sort of assets. You can go out and buy actual businesses. You can invest in stocks on the stock market. You can invest in real estate, maybe even cryptocurrency. There's a lot of different ways that you can buy these assets, but this requires you now to think a little bit differently than the majority of people, because for the majority of people, what are they doing? They take their salary and then they have this net zero mindset, where if I have $1,000, I need to spend $1,000, maybe even $1,100 with the help of my credit card and lines of credit. But this is that broke mindset, that no matter how much income you're making, it is going to keep you broke. You have to be willing to get out of that mindset. That way now you can have a little bit of a buffer where you have your income, you subtract your expenses, and now you're not just saving your money because your savings are being eaten away by inflation right now, but now you're going to be investing your money. Investing where? Well, investing to build equity. We all hear about equity when we talk about buying a home, because when you pay down your mortgage, you build equity in the home. But there's so many other ways to do that besides just your own home. You can invest in rental properties, you can invest in stocks, you can invest in startups. There's a bunch of apps that let you do that. You can invest in cryptocurrency. So there's a lot of ways for you to invest in this equity, but the whole idea now is you're not just reliant on your salary, because now, going back to the economic side, when we have this type of inflation from money printing, because the government is going to continue spending more money than they bring in, and the Federal Reserve Bank is going to continue printing money. As long as we have this sort of inflation, it disproportionately benefits these people versus your salary. That's why for years now, we've been talking about how the cost of living has been growing significantly higher than wages. What does that mean? Your salary is not keeping up with inflation. This has been going on for decades. Just look back into the 1970s, back when if you wanted to go out and buy a home and buy a car, you could do that with one income, even with just a high school degree. Nowadays, you need two people with college degrees, with student loans, to be able to buy a home and get a car. And now sometimes that's not even enough either. So what is that telling us? Inflation is going to be higher than this, the increase of your wages. Now, this is where you have to be financially educated and understand this, and now not just rely on your salary. This is what wealthy people do. The goal is ultimately just to rely here, not here. But you got to work your way there. This is going to take time, it's going to take effort, it's going to take sacrifice. But slowly, you start taking some of your salary and you work to build up this. That way now, you're not just relying on your salary, you're working on the equity side, right? You own stocks, you own real estate, and now these assets can then pay for your lifestyle. And once you do that, now you're financially free because the income that's coming in from your assets, from your stocks, from your real estate, from whatever it is, can now pay for your expenses. Now you don't have to physically work for the salary to keep funding your lifestyle. Your salary is just there to buy you more assets. That's the way the wealthy people look at it. This earned income is just there to buy you more assets. Your assets are what's paying for your expenses. When you can do that, you have hit that real financial freedom, the real wealth, and this is what financial education is all about. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide that goes over what passive income is, how to start generating passive income, and different passive income strategies. These are things that you can start doing even if you don't have a lot of money. So if you want to read this free guide on how to start generating passive income for free, all you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.